Here are 15 pickup trucks you will flat out regret buying in 2026, ranked from merely bad all the way down to downright catastrophic. Pickups are supposed to be the rock-solid ones, the trucks you buy so you never have to think about them again, built to haul, tow, and just keep on going no matter what you throw at them. But right now, some of the most popular pickups sitting on the lot are turning into the most expensive mistakes a hard-working person can make, and the salesman smiling at you is not going to be the one paying for it. I am not pulling any of this out of thin air. This is built on hundreds of thousands of owner reports collected on Consumer Reports, complaints filed with the NHTSA, and the owner forums where regular folks trade horror stories at 2 in the morning after their brand new truck died right there in the driveway. When the same failure shows up over and over from total strangers who never met each other, in different states and different climates, that is not bad luck, and it is not somebody abusing the thing. That is a pattern, and a pattern is exactly what ends up emptying your wallet 12 months down the road. So before you sign a single piece of paper, before you let some kid in a polo shirt tell you this particular one never has any problems, I want you to sit with me for a few minutes. I have spent a lifetime under these things, and I have seen firsthand what they do once the new car smell fades and the warranty gets a little more selective about what it wants to cover. A few of these trucks you can live with just fine if you go in with your eyes wide open and a plan. And a couple of them I would not park in my own yard if you handed me the keys and a check to go with it. My name is Ray Donnelly, and for 50 years I have turned wrenches on every kind of car there is, watching honest people get talked into repairs they never needed. So if that is the sort of thing you want more of, consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. Now let us wade in at the shallow end and work our way down into the deep, dark water where the truly ugly stuff is hiding. And we start with number 15. Number 15 is the Nissan Titan, and this one earns its spot more for what it slowly costs you over time than for any single dramatic blow-up. The Titan is an old design that got left behind while every other builder moved forward, and it drinks fuel like it has got something to prove, handing you mileage numbers a full-size truck buyer in 2026 ought to be embarrassed to admit at the pump. The transmission history is the real sore spot. Owners have reported hard, jerky shifting for years, especially when they are climbing a grade or dragging a loaded trailer, and plenty describe the truck lurching or hesitating right at the moment they need smooth, steady power the most. Then there is the resale, and this one really stings. You drive it off the lot, and the value drops through the floorboards faster than the competition. So the day you finally go to trade it in, you find out in a hurry what the market truly thinks of it. It will not strand you on the shoulder the way the trucks further down this list will, but it will nickel and dime your fuel budget every single week and gut your trade-in value on the way out. Merely bad, and that is precisely why it opens the countdown. Number 14 is the Ford Maverick, and I already know plenty of you love this little truck, and honestly I understand why you do. It is cheap, it is genuinely handy around town, and the hybrid sips fuel in a way a big pickup never will. But you simply cannot ignore the recall record on this thing, and it is a long, ugly one. The first-generation Maverick has stacked up an unusual number of separate recall campaigns and well over 1,000 NHTSA complaints across just a handful of model years, which for a compact truck is a mountain of paperwork. Ford recalled certain trucks over front lower control arm ball joints that could fail outright and cause you to lose control of the vehicle while driving. There was a fuel tank recall where an open seam meant the whole tank had to be pulled and replaced. On the hybrids, a software fault in the powertrain control module could drop the truck into neutral all on its own and kill your drive power in traffic. and the newer hybrids got tangled up in a park module recall over a rollaway risk, where the truck might not fully lock into park when you swore it was safe to walk away. Now, Ford does fix all of this free of charge, and most owners come out the far side just fine, which is exactly why it sits near the top of the list and not down in the basement. But a truck that needs the dealer on speed dial in its first couple of years is not the carefree little bargain it looks like on the window sticker. Number 13 is the redesigned Ford Ranger, the brand new generation, and the early buyers have been paying what I like to call the beta tester tax. The infotainment is the loudest gripe by a mile. The sync system freezes solid, drops the Bluetooth, kicks CarPlay and Android Auto right offline, and lags the backup camera at the exact moment you are trying to see the kid behind your bumper. Then come the electrical gremlins, warning lights lighting up for the four-wheel drive, for low power, for the collision systems, and at least one owner traced his whole mess back to a bad wiring harness rubbing itself raw where it never should have. The 10-speed automatic bolted behind it can throw harsh 1 to 3 shifts and delayed engagement in the first few thousand miles, sometimes settling down after a software update and sometimes stubbornly refusing to. Most of this does eventually get sorted under warranty, so what you are really losing here is time and patience more than cold hard cash. But a truck should not need 3 separate trips back to the dealer just to learn how to shift its own gears, and that is why the new Ranger lands right here at the tame end of a genuinely nasty list. My honest advice on this one is simple. Let the first model year of any all-new design go by and let some other poor soul iron out the wrinkles for free. The second and third years are almost always the ones worth owning. Now we cross over into the original crowd, and I promise you the trouble gets a whole lot more serious from here. Number 12 is the Ford F-150 Power Boost Hybrid. This is America's best-selling truck year after year, but you strap a hybrid system onto Ford's already troubled 10-speed transmission, and what you get is a reliability nightmare that leaves owners standing next to a $70,000 truck sitting dead in the service bay. Ford claimed loud and clear that they fixed the transmission with an updated drum back in late 2022. They did not. Owners of 2024 and 2025 trucks are still reporting harsh shifting, clunking, and shuddering right through the whole drivetrain. One fellow's 2024 hybrid failed completely at just 4,900 miles with a transmission malfunction warning staring back at him. And the electronic modules that run the entire show, the gateway module and the gearshift module, fail at alarming rates, either trapping you in park where you cannot move or flashing a stop safely now message at you while you are rolling down the highway at speed. Think about that for a second. You bought the most popular truck in the country, the safe choice everybody makes, and the fancy hybrid system that was supposed to save you money at the pump is the very thing leaving you stranded on the shoulder waiting for a flatbed. That is not progress, that is complexity gone wrong. Number 11 is the Ram 2500 and 3500 Heavy Duty, and this one carries 3 separate catastrophic problems all at the same time. The high-pressure fuel pump on the 6.7-liter Cummins can fail suddenly and completely, stalling the engine dead with no warning whatsoever, which is a very special kind of terror when you have got a loaded trailer pushing you from behind. There is a fire risk tied to a defect in the transmission dipstick tube, where fluid leaks straight out onto hot engine surfaces and can touch off an engine compartment fire. And then there is the power module, the brain that controls damn near everything electrical on the truck. And when it fails, the whole machine turns possessed, stalling out at random, exterior lights going haywire, power windows quitting on you, and the dealers just scratching their heads because they cannot pin the thing down. Any one of those 3 would be enough to keep me away. Stacked together on a work truck that people actually depend on to earn a living and tow real weight, it is a genuine gamble every time you turn the key. Number 10 is the Toyota Tundra with the I-Force engine. And this one genuinely shocked a whole lot of lifelong Toyota people who thought they were buying a sure thing. The new twin-turbo V6 left the factory with machining debris left inside the block, metal shavings floating loose in the oil system, chewing up the main bearings, seizing engines solid, and forcing complete motor replacements, sometimes under 20,000 miles. Toyota did issue recalls over it, but here is the hard truth. Once an engine has debris damage worked into it, you are rebuilding or replacing, not adjusting. And 2025 owners are still reporting random warning lights, frozen infotainment screens, and brake and steering complaints on a $70,000 truck. This is a first-year powertrain wearing a Toyota badge, and it has very real growing pains that the reputation cannot cover for. And that is the thing that stings the worst here. People pay the Toyota premium precisely so they never have to think about a seized engine, and now they are thinking about it at 20,000 miles. Number 9 is the GMC Sierra 1500, and here is where GM's own flagship 6.2-liter V8 is grenading itself in brand new trucks. GM issued a nationwide stop sale on nearly 600,000 trucks over catastrophic engine failures, and they laid the blame on incorrectly manufactured crankshafts and connecting rods that can seize up or flat out detonate while you are driving down the road. On top of that mess, the fuel-saving cylinder deactivation system uses lifters that collapse, especially in stop-and-go traffic, bending the pushrods and destroying the camshaft, and owners tell you straight that they have done that exact same repair more than once on the same truck. Now add in the 10-speed transmission shudder that the dealers keep answering with yet another software update, and what you have got is a very expensive truck constantly fighting against itself. And a stop sale on 600,000 trucks is not a small thing. That is the manufacturer admitting, in the only language they speak, which is lawyers and money, that they do not trust their own engine to hold together in your hands. Number 8 is the Chevrolet Silverado, and it is quite simply the same truck with the same disasters as the Sierra, just wearing a different hat. The same 6.2-liter V8 with the badly made crankshafts waiting to let go. The same cylinder deactivation lifters that collapse and take the camshaft out with them. The same 10-speed that shudders no matter how many updates they throw at it. The only real difference between the two is the bow tie on the grille instead of the GMC badge. GM found a way to double its reliability problem, clean across two different nameplates, and sell you the very same headache twice over and hope you never noticed. Number 7 is the Hyundai Santa Cruz, and calling this thing a truck at all is being generous with the word. It is basically a tall Tucson crossover with a little bed grafted onto the back, and Hyundai's dual-clutch transmission cannot handle even that modest job. The 2022 and 2023 models are the real nightmares, with complete loss of power while driving and stop safely immediately warnings popping up on the highway with no acceleration left in the pedal at all. Hyundai recalled the 2022 models for a transmission oil pump failure, but curiously not the 2023 S, even though nothing meaningful actually changed between the two. The dual-clutch judders, hesitates, slips, and then just gives up entirely, with some transmissions getting replaced twice before 20,000 miles, and there are electrical troubles piled on top, frozen screens, false safety alerts, climate control doing its own thing. Small bed, mediocre base engine, and simply not enough capability to earn the name on the tailgate. Buy it thinking you got a clever little truck, and you may end up with a crossover that cannot get out of its own way and costs you a transmission to boot. Number 6 is the Jeep Gladiator, a Wrangler with a bed bolted on and 3 major problems Jeep still has not honestly fixed. The 3.6-liter engine has the lifter tick, where the rocker arms fail early and send metal debris churning through the oil system to grind the camshaft down to nothing. And there is a class-action lawsuit over the whole affair, yet Jeep keeps right on replacing the failed parts with the very same defective parts. There is the infamous death wobble, a violent, uncontrollable front-end shake above 40 miles an hour that got so bad Jeep extended the warranty out to 8 years, or 90,000 miles, just to calm everybody down. The steering stabilizers fail around 11,000 miles, the ball joints wear out before 100,000, and an auxiliary battery drain leaves owners stranded in parking lots, with both batteries dying inside 25,000 miles, while the dealers flat refuse to swap them until they are completely stone dead. A Jeep is supposed to be the truck you take where the pavement ends, and instead folks are afraid to take it past the end of the driveway. When the fix from the factory is the same broken part in a fresh box, you are not really fixing anything, you are just resetting the clock on the next failure. Number 5 is the Tesla Cybertruck, sold as absolutely indestructible but fragile in every wrong way that actually matters. There was an accelerator pedal recall where the pedal could slip loose and stick wide open at full throttle, which is about as frightening as it sounds. It leans hard on steer-by-wire and brake-by-wire for everything, so when a sensor glitches or the software has a bad day, the truck can lose its steering, lose its braking, or simply shut itself down, and owners report the vehicles getting bricked right there in place. There are stress cracks turning up in the frame under hard off-road use, and the fancy stainless panels show surface corrosion and staining that no truck at this price should ever wear. And there are more than 10,000 of these things sitting on lots right now with nobody lining up to take one home. When even the true believers stop buying, that tells you everything. A truck you cannot trust to steer and stop is not a truck, it is a very expensive science experiment parked in your driveway. Number 4 is the GMC Canyon, which looks plenty rugged parked out front, but tells a very different story the moment you actually own it. The electronics throw false safety activations, with the automatic emergency braking slamming the brakes on hard for no reason at all at highway speed, which is a fine way to get yourself rear-ended by the poor soul behind you. The engine wiring harness rubs against hot components until the chafed wiring causes no start conditions and all kinds of erratic behavior you cannot predict. Consumer Reports handed this one a 1 out of 5 predicted reliability score, and I will tell you, that is just about as low as their whole scale is capable of going. Number 3 is the Chevrolet Colorado, and it shares every last headache with its Canyon twin brother. The phantom braking at highway speed, the troublesome 2.4-liter turbo with its carbon buildup problem, the wiring harness troubles, and the infotainment screen that bricks itself when it feels like it. Consumer Reports gave both trucks the same 1 out of 5. GM recalled over 57,000 of them for false emergency braking, and here is the kicker. Even after the so-called fix, owners say the system got more sensitive rather than less, with constant false alerts jumping out at them. And once again, the only real difference between the two is the badge stuck on the grille. I want you to really let that sink in, because it is a lesson that repeats all over this list. These big companies build one truck, wrap it in 2 or 3 different grills, and sell you the exact same defect at 2 or 3 different price points. Shopping around between them feels like doing your homework, but you are really just picking which logo you want on the thing that leaves you stranded. Number 2 is the Rivian R1T, meant to be the great Tesla killer and instead the truck that bricks itself dead after a routine software update, leaving a $90,000 machine completely inoperable in your own garage. Owners plug it in to charge overnight, unplug it in the morning, and hours later the thing locks up tight and shuts down, no doors, no screens, no way to drive it anywhere at all. Some report actual smoke coming into the cabin from electrical failures under the center console while they are driving down the road. And that is genuine danger, not mere inconvenience. The build quality is shockingly bad for the money, with huge panel gaps, misaligned hoods, and seals that leak water inside. Consumer Reports ranked Rivian near the absolute bottom for brand reliability, a dismal 14 out of 100. That is the kind of score a brand new company earns when it ships the trucks before the software is ready and lets the customers finish the testing for free. And number one, the single most catastrophic of them all, is the Ram 1500 Hurricane. This was supposed to be the bold reboot, the new engine, the new technology, the whole future of the brand riding on it. Instead, the Hurricane twin-turbo inline-six is plagued by electrical and sensor failures top to bottom, architecture faults that drain the battery flat or throw random error codes, fuel pump and sensor failures that cut your power or shove the truck straight into limp mode, and in some of the high-output trims, catalytic converters actually melting down under heavy load. Owners report check engine lights coming on within the first few weeks of ownership, dealers replacing modules over and over with no end in sight, and still no clear fix anywhere on the horizon. The 8-speed transmission bolted behind it is genuinely good hardware, some of the best in the business, but it depends completely on the electronics wrapped around it, and when those electronics fail, even a great transmission cannot save you. Brand new engine, brand new tech, and a brand new way to end up stranded on the side of the road. So there is your list. 15 trucks that run the whole range from a slow, steady bleed on your wallet all the way to a full-blown catastrophe sitting in the driveway. If you already own one of these, do not panic on me. Just keep every single record, stay right on top of the recalls as they come, and make that dealer put every last promise down in writing where it counts. And if you are out there shopping right now, remember this. The shiniest truck on the whole lot, with the newest engine and the biggest screen, is very often the exact one carrying the newest and most expensive problems. Buy the boring one that has already proven itself over a few honest years. Your bank account and your blood pressure right along with it will thank you for it down the road. This is Ray reminding you that the very best repair bill is the one you never had to pay in the first place. Take care of yourself.